Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to this World Interfaith Harmony Week event 2019. Let me give you a little background on what World Interfaith Harmony Week is. It was in 2010 when the King of Jordan, King Abdallah, proposed to the United Nations, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, that there should be at least 1 week each year, every year, that people put aside their differences, come together as one. He charged governments, NGOs, the religious community to come together, organize events that bring people closer together. And we have done this. We've collaborated, my organization, Give Them a Hand, the International Association, Ambassador Ratri from the Mission of Jamaica, Ethiopia on several occasions, Indonesia, and we have hosted events. Now this year, we have decided to do a little different. In the previous years, we had a lot of talking, only talking. This year, we've decided we're going to bring a little spice, and we've brought 2 choirs. We've brought a choir from Harlem, the St. Mark Evangelist Catholic Church Choir, and I assure you, they will wake you up if you're not off. So thank you all very much for being here.
This is an amazing group who is here tonight, so just take a moment to look around the room and see the beautiful people who have showed up here tonight to share one faith. Everybody coming from so many different countries and backgrounds and cultures. We are here at the UN, but we are an example of the UN. So just look around and see who's here, everybody. Take a look. Yeah. And as is, raving is good. How wonderful. Waving. I love it. Fabulous. And how about I love when I sit in church and people go around and shake hands. So turn to the person next to you and say hello and shake their hand. I think it's fabulous. Wonderful. This room came alive. It's just a pleasure to be here. And as Gordon said, and this is my buddy, Gordon, we have really spent so many years together doing different events with some of the other members of the United African Congress that you'll meet here as well. So as Gordon said, this is a very exciting evening. We have panels from faith leaders from all different denominations who are very inspiring and extremely eloquent. So you will be thrilled to be hearing them, even though it is speeches. They're wonderful. We will see a video of our past events that we've done for World Interfaith Harmony Week that is very exciting. Also with faith, we'll hear a poetry reading and a cantor singing. And as Gordon said, 2 choirs, one of the choirs of which I've spent many Sundays and many practice hours with, because they will be singing a song that my music partner Russell Daisy and I wrote called One Faith, that we are here celebrating one faith. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Ambassador Ratri. We've done many events with Jamaica. Thank you to Ambassador Ratri. Woo! So we'll start off with actually an interfaith prayer. Zoe Chang, will you come to the stage, join us here, an ordained faith minister and officer of the UN Staff Recreational Council Enlightenment Society. There are many people here who are enlightened. We will get even higher.
Sharing the gratitude for the 193 countries that agreed to a set of bold and magnanimous goals to reduce human suffering and raise people up. As people of all faiths, we pray to build a culture of peace in service of these goals. We pray that peace will start with us in this room, rippling out to all parts of the world. We pray to embody peace in our hearts, minds, and souls. We pray to practice peace with our thoughts, speech, and actions. We pray to free our senses to see and to hear one another. We pray to open our hearts to experience the joy and the suffering of others. Let us reach out to each other to build bridges across boundaries and to unite as one. We will jointly pray. You can look in the screen. You can say it out loud with me. May this evening link us and our communities now and forever. We pray that the outcome of today's event be fruitful. We pray that the divine lights will guide our paths to work individually and collectively on activities leading to the fulfillment of the UN goals. Together, we harness our indomitable strength through unity. Together, we are one. We are one. We are one. Thank you.
I want to introduce the next speaker on our list, who is the permanent representative of Jamaica to the United Nations, His Excellency Ambassador Courtney Rattray. He has been at the United Nations since 2013, and he has made all people from Jamaica, all people of the Caribbean, and people of the diaspora proud. He has, some of you, when you were walking in, you probably saw a monument on the plaza, which is in honor of the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. It is something that is extremely significant, not only to people of African heritage, but to all of us. Ambassador Rattray was instrumental in having that installed. In fact, he was the person who administered, supervised, managed it, and had it installed. He has been very active in various committees, and I would like to invite him up to the lectern at this point to speak, make his opening remarks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I first want to just thank our co-chairs for the evening, Gordon Tapper and Dr. Judy Kuriansky, for giving me the opportunity and my mission, the Jamaican Permanent Mission to the UN, to partner with them on this activity this evening. We have, as Gordon said, we have done many things together over the past few years. And I do want to echo the sentiments of Dr. Judy when she looked out. You know, I've chaired many, many meetings in this room. So this is not the first time that I'm having an opportunity to look out from this vantage point. But I do want to echo what Dr. Judy says. When I look out at the diversity that is arrayed in front of me, I know for sure that I'm not in a UN meeting. Because, you know, there are 193 of us, as you have heard, member states. But somehow when we come together to deliberate and to negotiate, on matters that impact us all and that we all profess to care about, universal values like love and tolerance and respect. We're negotiating and dialoguing with each other from a set of papers, a common draft text. And somehow, when we are assembled from all corners of the globe, we don't seem to reflect the diversity that we bring to the UN. When I look out at a UN meeting, everybody looks like me, dressed in a suit that has become my uniform from Monday to Friday. And I'm looking at all the different colors and all the different types of cultural diversity that is arrayed. And I'm like, the UN doesn't really look like this. That's one of the laments that I have. It should look like this. But I think only on occasions when we have civil society organizations and NGOs invited to the UN do we actually see the expression of what we purport to advocate for in these halls. So in Jamaican parlance, big up yourself. Thank you very much for that. So after that brief digression, let me get to what I have prepared to say to you this evening. First of all, I just want to say how honored I am, to reiterate how honored I am to be here today to mark the 2019 World Interfaith Harmony Week. My mission, the permanent mission of Jamaica, is extremely pleased, let me say, to participate in this commemorative event. And we congratulate the organizers on their commitment to including religious and faith-based groups in the sustainable development process on which we are all engaged. And I'm sure everybody in the room knows what I'm speaking about. World Interfaith Harmony Week is more than a celebration. It is a manifestation of the shared values of coexistence, fraternity, and human understanding. Those are some of the universal values that we all treasure. The recognition of interfaith dialogue is an important condition for sustainable peace and development. And, there was a point in time when you spoke about development and peace as two different things, And now we have come to the realization that you can't have one without the other, because there's a real nexus between peace and sustainable development. As such, it is our duty and responsibility to ensure that interfaith harmony is mainstreamed in the implementation of each and every one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Every religion, every country, and every culture has something positive to contribute to the promotion of social harmony and human values, and to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. As such, I anticipate that our discussions this evening, will facilitate the sharing of knowledge on the practical application of the teachings of the respective faiths in addressing specific SDGs, including those related to good health and well-being, which is SDG 3, gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls, SDG 5, reduced inequalities, SDG 10, and sustainable, inclusive, and resilient cities and communities, SDG 11. We are all, I think, acutely aware of the critical role that faith and religion play in safeguarding peace, security, and stability. These are necessary factors in fostering sustainable societies. I want to read a quote that I like from UNESCO's founding document. It says, "Since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed." I cannot overstate, therefore, the significance of the role played by religious leaders in fostering within the communities that they serve the principles, values, and morals that are the vital underpinnings for creating sustainable societies. Their activities seek to safeguard the minds and soul of men, women, boys, and girls, not only by addressing their physical needs, but also ensuring that they find spiritual fulfillment And I really was heartened that we started off this evening's proceedings with a prayer to which we can all relate, no matter who we worship. In this respect, I commend the efforts of all religious leaders who are with us this evening and wish you continued success. There is, ladies and gentlemen, an interrelated link between spiritual fulfillment and physical fulfillment. In a context of increasing competition over scarce resources in some parts of the world, a worrisome slowdown in the decline of global extreme poverty, increased inequality almost everywhere across the globe, and growing conflicts, it is critical to ensure that faith and religion do not themselves become tools for division, exclusion, and the promotion of extremist views, ideologies, and discrimination. Therefore, I am pleased to note that this evening's event seeks to address the ways in which interfaith collaboration can achieve the ambitious 2030 agenda, as well as to ensure peaceful and harmonious societies. The 2030 agenda is an occasion to reinforce a stronger sense of commitment between religious leaders, NGOs, and the United Nations. Finding common ground to implement sustainable development goals will allow us to move towards a greater sense of engagement for all and by all. I am certain that our discussions will facilitate the sharing of knowledge on the practical application of the teachings of our respective faiths. I encourage you to continue your good work, which complements efforts being led by other critical stakeholders, such as the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, and to maintain your commitment to securing a future of peace, harmony, and sustainable development for all humanity. It is my hope also that following these discussions, you will be inspired by the call to action that will be issued at the end of this evening, entitled Empowered by Faith, Stronger Together. So I thank you sincerely and wish you an informative, stimulating, and successful evening of discussion and, as we heard, of musical entertainment. Thank you very much.
Now, that was exceptionally eloquent, Ambassador. Thank you so much for those beautiful words and for setting the stage that the theme of tonight is, in fact, the relationship between interfaith harmony and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I'm a little biased towards number 3, which is good health and well-being, since I was very influential with Ambassador Otto in ensuring that mental health and well-being is included in that, and feeling that that is at the basis. If we feel good about ourselves and each other, as we are here tonight to do, then we can, in fact, create equality, peace in the world for sure, help people rise out of poverty, and achieve all the other goals. So that is what we intend to inspire everyone about this evening. I've sat in many houses of worship. Being Jewish, I've been in many synagogues and heard beautiful sounds, but sat very proper. I was not able to sit proper, but really was moved tremendously when I was at the Mass at St. Mark the Evangelist Catholic Church, and we are about to be tremendously thrilled to hear the French choir perform some of their songs. You will not be able, and don't feel that you need to sit just still. If you want to move, if you want to stand and rock out like I did, don't make me feel my own, go ahead and do that.
I have to tell you, I was sitting next to Dr. Judy at the when the choir was performing at the Mass.
At the Mass.
And all the moves she made, I couldn't believe it. She was almost on the verge of breakdancing. The choir is that good.
They're fantastic. And you need to know about them that they do sing in French, they also sing in Spanish, and they sing African songs and French songs and English songs. They've been together for 12 years. They have tremendous color and rhythm, and they come from many countries in West Africa, from Cote d'Ivoire, from Cameroon, from Chad, from Togo. What else am I thinking of? Burkina Faso. So we are very thrilled. Here they come. Welcome them. Thank you.
mon ami de tous les jours, de tous les jours, de tous les jours, de tous les jours, de tous les jours. Quand le diable m'attaque, il est là pour me défendre. Quand le diable m'attaque, il est là pour me défendre.
Ô roi des nations, tu es digne de louange.
Au roi des nations, tu es digne de louange.
Ô roi des nations, tu es digne de louange.
Au roi des nations, tu es digne de louange.
De la pauvreté, il me mène à la richesse.
De la pauvreté, il me mène à la richesse.
De la pauvreté, il me mène à la richesse.
De la pauvreté, il me mène à la richesse.
Ô roi des nations, l'or et l'argent t'appartiennent.
Au roi des nations, l'or et l'argent t'appartiennent.
Ô roi des nations, l'or et l'argent t'appartiennent.
Au roi des nations,
Oh,
l'or et l'argent t'appartiennent.
loué, 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 loué. Louez Jésus-Christ de Nazareth, louez Jésus-Christ de Nazareth, le premier patron de magnificateur. On s'abaisse, 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 on se lève, on se lève, on se lève, on se lève. Si tu aimes Jésus, je dis tape les mains. Si tu aimes Jésus, je dis tape les mains. Si tu aimes Jésus, fais bisous à ton voisin. Bisous, 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 bisous. On s'abaisse, on s'abaisse, on y va, on y va, on y va, on y va. Loué, 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 loué. Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, tu es vraiment bon. Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, tu es mon papa. Tu m'as donné, tu m'as donné, tu m'as donné la vraie joie. Tu m'as donné, tu m'as donné, tu m'as donné la vraie joie. Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, tu es mon papa. Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, Jésus, oh, tu es vraiment bon. Tout le monde, tout le monde, tout le monde, alléluia. Loué, 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 loué. Loué, 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 loué. Ma folio. Thank you, thank you.